I certainly got a big surprise today when I was reading some of the articles that I'd put aside to read. And one that came up on my feed today was that the World Health Organization is now recommending that homesteaders, people that plant their own gardens, that the first thing that they plant in the case of war or in the case of need is a lot of spices and a lot of root vegetables and things. So a lot of the stuff that they are saying that we should plant, I already do, and I already stockpile it. So I can just, off the top of my hat, I know ginger. And a lot of them are antitoxins and they are anti-inflammatory. So be aware of that. So ginger, cinnamon, turmeric, sage, bay leaves. So a lot of these things, and I'll post a link down below because it is the World Health Organization is recommending this, right? But not that long ago, they were pulling things off the shelves like crazy. So, basically it's kind of like, it's kind of, I don't know, it's got me thinking. It's got me thinking because at one point they were saying that farmers, backyard farmers, were the biggest threat that there was to climate change. Look at it, right? Look at the world. Look at, there was a chemical plant that exploded, okay? And there was a massive fire. Well, those vapors go into the air. So that also contributes to climate change and to pollution and to the atmosphere being destroyed and depleted of the ozone layer, right? So, and then the wars all around the world, the wars that are taking place around the world, and don't think that those missiles and those jets that are traversing our skies aren't contributing to climate change, okay? Right.
Just, well, explosion at a chemical factory. Geez, I wonder, climate change, really? I wonder why. Maybe it's the backyard farmers burning their grass. Oh, wait, no, it's a chemical factory.
So then they brought up this study where they were saying that no, backyard farmers were contributing a lot more than you would get from farmers that were what's the word? I can't think of the word. Like the big organizations, the big farms, right? The farms that are basically funded by the government, right? So think about it, right? Backyard farmers and the small farmers who, even they were even looking at cows and wanting to put a tax on cows, farmers that were farming cows because they of the methane gas that was being expelled into the atmosphere because of the cows and the chicken farmers and the right. So now what are they doing? It's almost like they're trying to control the thought process. They're trying to control the initiatives. They're trying to control what it is that we farm and what it is that we don't farm. So now they're talking about root vegetables and they're talking about the minerals that we get from these root vegetables and things. And so what they're basically saying is that, listen, World Health Organization is basically saying, listen to us. We know exactly what you should grow and this is what you should grow, right? Well, the truth is ginger is amazing to grow. It's a great anti-inflammatory. anti-inflammatory, it's an antitoxin, it's a prebiotic for probiotics, which would be kefir, would be one of the better probiotics that I would use. But they're also talking about supplements. So in the video that I'm going to link, they're talking about curcumin and turmeric supplements. And what they're basically saying is that, yeah, grow some turmeric, grow some, cinnamon, get some cinnamon powder, like all this stuff, right? But they also said at the end of that video, they said, if you can't grow it, you should buy the supplements. Okay, well, you know who's trying to get into the supplementation business, right? Would be these big pharma companies. They're trying to get into that because they're seeing that society is going in that direction where they're looking at more natural, holistic methods instead of pharmacare. Just my thought. I'm not putting it out there for anyone else to follow, okay? Because we have a bunch of, I don't know what you would call them, but I do have a stalker that stalks me on my channel and watches my videos. And, like, listen, you do whatever in the hell you want to do with your body, okay? But all I'm talking about is the fact that there are supplementations that are being pushed by the World Health Organization, curcumin, turmeric, ginger supplements, things like that. Well, you know what? You can grow it. You can grow it yourself in your garden, like they said. But they kind of added that little expletive at the end. That, well, if you can't grow it, then you could always turn to us and we could sell you a supplement. So just be aware of that. This world is kind of going in a new direction, and it's a little surprising to me, but it was one of the things that kind of like got my eyebrows raised, which are growing very good. I think this one's a little bit too dark today, but oh well. But look at how good they're growing. I'm so proud of them. Anyhow, so my eyebrows were raised with some of the things that I heard today. But now I'm not one of these what's the word, where they think every conspiracy theorists. I'm not one of them, okay? But I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. The world is going to hell in a handbasket, and we have a lot of people in the position of power that are basically kind of leading us down that trail, right? So, and we're talking about overpopulation, and we've seen through certain things that have taken place in the past number of years where there has been large amounts of people who have been affected and who have died and who have been affected by illness and disease and have passed, right? So there's a large chunk of them. And then there's war, and that once again contributed to a lot of people, crossing over to the Great Divide. But our local government, our government where I live, is now going to make birth control for our young people. It is going to be made free. It's going to be supplied for them. Now, I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't think it's a bad idea. It teaches you responsibility. However, birth control, I don't know. I don't know about that. Do we give free birth control with the push that it's going to help you become responsible, or are you giving birth control so that nobody is going to procreate? You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of makes you wonder, right? All of a sudden now the government is getting involved in birth control. What about education? What about putting some money into education? What about that? But no, we're going to put money into birth control. We're going to put money into pharmaceutical companies. We're going to put money into the big V's all across the world. There's been a lot of push for a lot of different things, and I'm not disagreeing with it. I had a family friend who ended up with polio because they weren't able, or the polio vaccine wasn't available during her time of life. Okay, and so she wasn't able to get it, and she ended up with polio, and she was, she didn't walk. She scooted around on her bottom. They didn't have the money to buy the wheelchairs and all that other stuff, okay? And so, she scooted around her bottom. So I'm not saying I disagree with a lot of the things that are coming up, but what I am saying is we need to look at it realistically and look at it in moderation. And I still can't get over the fact that our world is condoning people that believe that they're dogs and cats. I don't like to be political, but I'm just having a hard time believing that. I'm having a hard time believing that. Um, it's a fetish. It's a fantasy. I don't know what it is. But I'm not in any way, shape, or form um, getting involved in that conversation. Not getting involved in that conversation. However, I'm kind of seeing a lot of things come up in the news that, I mean, I did a video not too long ago about spices and the fact that spices, if you can't get the food, you can get the spice. If you can't get the spice, I mean, there's various different ways of getting your vitamins and your minerals, okay? So if you can't get it through food and you can't get it through vegetables and you're not able to grow a garden, then you can get it through spices. Maybe stockpile up on some spices. Most of the spices that I use are anti-inflammatory and antitoxin. When I have a coffee, I have just taken to doing this in the morning. Usually I have a coffee with cream. But lately I've been having a coffee with a little sprinkle of cinnamon in it. You know what? I'm kind of getting used to the taste and I like it. I like it. Also, I had to go over and I had to purchase some castor oil because I ran out. So I fill this bottle full of castor oil. Okay, I use this on my belly. It tightens the skin on my belly. I use it on my face. I had these really deep wrinkles down this way and they're starting to subside. I do have a mole that's starting again that I'm getting rid of with iodine. Okay, so castor oil, iodine. I use baking soda. I do clean my teeth with baking soda and I do rub my gums with the castor oil. I also use the castor oil for my hair. And I'm telling you, I have got to cut it again. Now, if you look back at my videos, you'll see that I just cut my hair, right? Okay, and you'll see my bangs were right to here, okay? And I cut it. I cut about 1/4 of an inch off. Well, look at this. And this is basically from the same, look at, it's right to there. And I cut it to here. I cut 1/4 of an inch off. Like my hair, I'm not bullshitting. I'm not making this up. My hair is growing like crazy. I'm not putting it on my legs though, because I don't want to have hairy legs. I did stop using underarm deodorant, and I am using a holistic underarm deodorant. Okay, I can't remember the name of it, but it doesn't have any preservatives in it. It doesn't have any chemicals in it. It's strictly natural, and it has more of an oil base to it. But you can use castor oil. You could use castor oil. You could mix castor oil with a little bit of essential oil and use that as an arm deodorizer, right? So you could use that. But I'm using as many natural products as I possibly can. However, the castor oil is like the top of my list because my hair is like nuts. It's like nuts. My eyebrows are just absolutely beautiful. They're growing in like abundance, right? So I'm very, very pleased. The stomach, my skin on my stomach is very tight. I don't want to pull my pants down, but I don't know how else to show you. But it's very tight. It's very tight. The skin's very tight. I have no wrinkles. I have no hanging skin, and I am definitely contributing to the fact that I use castor oil on my stomach. I put castor oil in my belly button, I rub it on my stomach, and it literally tightens that skin. And that's no word of a lie. Now, I am going to start to walk again, and I'm so excited about this. I have to run over to get it, but where I live, there is some people who are moving out of the apartments, and I've been using a carry case to carry my cat, and if you watch my videos you'll see that. However, someone left, and it was a present, because it was left downstairs for anybody who wanted it. And it's a stroller, an animal stroller, and it's, they're very expensive. They're very, very expensive, and I would never be able to afford it. And so I was taking my cat with me, but my carry case is very small. And my cat's, I just weighed him this morning. He's 10.1 pounds. Like, oh my God. Yeah, he's just getting massive. So he's not fitting in the carry case, and he's kind of like, he doesn't really like it. So usually I put him in the carry case, put it on my walker, and take it down the street. However, wait till I show you what I got for free out of the garbage room. So it doesn't hurt to thrift. Watch. I have so much stuff in the house. Like, so this is what I got. Now this is my cat's pillow. He loves to sleep with this pillow, but this is a cat, what do you call it? A cat carriage. So it's called Wonder Ford Pet. Wonder Ford Pet, see? But it's absolutely gorgeous. It's got a little opening here that you can open up, and it's got this mesh on it, and it opens up. So I washed it out and I sprayed it to make sure there was no little critters running around in it, and I sprayed it, and the cat loves it. The cat loves it. The cat will sit in it, he will sleep in it, he plays in it, he absolutely loves it. Now, I just finished washing it, and I had to wash the bottom part of it, but it has to dry. So I'm not going to take him for a walk in it yet, not until tomorrow. I'm going to make sure that everything's dry and everything's clean. Do you want up? You want to see? Up, come, go for a walk. He's just kind of looking at me like, what do you do with my carriage? Yeah, so anyhow, so I got that for free from the garbage room. So it doesn't hurt to thrift. There's nothing wrong with that. So I kind of scored large the other day. And so did my cat, right? So somebody up above was kind of saying, hey, take the garbage out today. And I did. And at that time, somebody had just left it down there, and I just grabbed it, brought it up, and started to clean it. And my little Tabby is so happy about that. He played in it all night. He really, really did, truly did. So I just wanted to put this out there, a little video about the fact that, in the news, they are talking about the World Health Organization is advising people in their backyard gardens, or if you're a homesteader, to plant certain crops, right? And they were talking a lot about root vegetables. Now, a lot of root vegetables have a lot of minerals in them. Now, think about this though. Our soil is being depleted, right? By agricultural farming. Our soil is being depleted of its nutrients and its minerals. And so you need to put that back in. And so you put that back in with manure, cow manure, chicken manure, whatever, manure or rotten food, right? You bring it back into the soil to give it back those nutrients. You feed your soil just like you feed your animals. So, root vegetables, when you plant them, they will soak up those minerals, and that's what feeds them. And then when you eat them, that's how you get the minerals, right? So turmeric and ginger are two of my very, very most important root vegetables that I eat, and I eat them daily. If I run out of ginger, I'm right at that store, and I'll count my change if I have to get some ginger. And it keeps my blood pressure down. It keeps my sugar in balance. And whenever I start to feel a little nauseous, and sometimes I do because the fluctuation in the temperature, right? So when I start to feel nauseous or I start to feel weak, I'll take some ginger. I'll chew a coin of ginger, the raw ginger and the juices. Now, the ginger has got fiber in it. Fiber and the minerals. So that's good, right? And they are doing studies, and they have shown that turmeric will literally fight certain chronic diseases to help your body battle those chronic diseases. Now, I have to be very careful of which diseases I say on here because it's just, trust me, it's a world of control. It's a world of control, and who's got it, and who's going to push it, and who's going to take it, and who's going to give it. And so all I'm saying is that doesn't hurt. Grow a garden. Yeah, I agree. World Health Organization, I agree with them. Grow a garden, but be very, very specific in what you're growing and how you're feeding the soil that you're growing that food in. So just be aware of some of the things that are out on the news, because we're not allowed to repost the news where I'm from in Canada. So I hope you had a wonderful Easter, if that's what you celebrated. If not, I believe it was Ramadan. I hope you had a very celebratory and very peaceful Ramadan. Or I believe there was some East Indian children that I met here that were celebrating a thing called Holi. And so I hope, if you celebrate Holi, I hope you had a wonderful, peaceful time with your family and your friends. So, on that note, I'm going to let you go because I've got so much to do today. I want to wash and wax my floors, and I got some dusting to do, so I want to get that done before the holiday is over. I mean, it was a very quiet holiday for me, but it's going to help me get some of my chores done. So, I shall see you in the next video. The good Lord be willing.